Hello everyone, I am back today with another process video, and as you can see I'm working in my traveler's notebook insert again. If you've been following my videos, you know that I'm working on some photos from last summer of 2017. I did a kind of history and photo walk with architecture thing with a friend of mine, and I've been very slowly working through those photos. And part of what I'm doing is every major stop on the tour, I'm using these cork numbers to designate the stops. This was the last one I did, which was stop 5, which is the farmer's market. Well, I'm continuing on with that because I took a crap ton. Yes, that's an industry term. A crap ton of photos at the farmer's market. So I'm not done with spot 5 yet. I'm continuing on. So I have these today. I have mainly cucumbers here and then some beans and Brussels sprouts, but I just love the colors in these photos. They're so bright, so vibrant that I had a hard time tearing myself away from the farmer's market action. When it was finally time to go, I was bringing up the rear because I wasn't ready to go. So I'm going to do these today. This is all I have. I haven't picked out background paper or anything yet. But I want it to kind of, match and bring out these colors because I really want them to be the center of attention. So I need something subtle in the background, probably a lighter color so it doesn't detract from this. But that's all I got so far. So I took out my stash of stuff again. There are the numbers. I can take those out because I'll be using those next time, not today. But I've got some letters in here. These are kind of hard to see. These are Kelly Perky letter stickers. So they're the same font. They're just different colors. So I've got pink and white already in here. Some other of her stickers from one of her kits. This was a summer kit. I don't know that anything in here is appropriate for these photos, but I keep it in there just in case. Some bits and pieces, that I've cut into of other papers. Throw those over there. And yes, I keep strips like this because you never know when you might use that. And then I have all the background papers. So I'm going to go through these first because they're already cut almost to the size that I need. So it's not that I, would have to cut into a brand new piece of paper, which is nice because I don't like to do that in a traveler's notebook. I don't want to waste paper, so I try to use what comes in the kits first if I can. If that doesn't work, then, then I'll go into my stash. But I'm going to start with all of this. Sadly, I didn't find anything in that big stack of stuff that I had that I thought would work with these photos. I'm going to take those out again here. Placeholder. So these are what I have. There's a little bit of yellow here and there's some yellowy orange back here. So I did find this in my pile of scraps. And I think it's a little busy because, it's a diagonal stripe. But I think the yellow and white, it's subtle enough that it'll work with these and it won't take away from the photos. So I'm going to try it. So I have to cut this down because this is obviously too big, and then figure out how I'm going to kind of splice it in half, or am I only going to use it on one side? I don't know. But I think this is the paper that I'm going to use for this layout, and then we'll just add to it later. Given the size that the paper was to begin with, I chose to cut it down so that it was 8 inches long so that it will fit in here. And then I cut out a piece that was 4 inches across so it would perfectly fit one side. And this is what I was left with. And so I figure I'm just going to use this for the other side. And then paper appears on both sides of the layout, but it's not even. So it's a little bit asymmetrical, which I like in my designs. I don't need to have everything, matchy-matchy where it's 4x8 and 4x8. So I've cut them to these sizes and I'm going to adhere them. And I have to say, my desk is a little messy today. You may have noticed that. I have several projects going right now, as I do pretty much all the time. I don't tend to just work on one thing till it's done. I have multiple things going. And I don't know about you, but I don't like having to clean my entire desk after each thing that I work on. So some things that I use a lot just tend to stay out on the desk. And so that's what you're seeing here. So if you do that too, because you're not a fan of cleaning up constantly, I'm with you. I get it. All right, so there's the left-hand side. And now do the other side. A little bit off camera here, but that's okay. All right, now let's make sure I've got my stripes going the same way. Yes, but I'm going to move it over to this side and put it along the right border rather than right up next to this, because I want some of that white space in between. So there we go. I have the background ready, and now it's time to figure out where to place my photos. So I've adhered my photos. This is how I chose to put them in the insert here. And now I have grabbed out my little embellishment tray here of all kinds of fun stuff. I'm hoping that there's, you know, at least something in there I can use. And then I grabbed out just a pile of random labels that I have. I keep these in a little container that hangs off the side of my rolling cart. And so I just grabbed some thinking, you know, I don't know, maybe some of the colors will work and I can stamp on it with something. But I'm going to start with these elements and see what I can add to my photos. As you can see, I've gone through quite a bit of stuff here, and I did find a few things that I think might work. I have this little clear item here, embellishment, that says Simple Pleasures, and it matches this color back here, so try to work that in. I found just this blank little oval embellishment piece, but it has a nice little background there, and since everything is green, that should work. And then I found this little item that says Today. It's in the yellow, so I'll have to back it with something probably because that's too much yellow, but I'll find a way. And then this little pennant or flag, which I'm thinking maybe can go up here to bring in some of that green. So I have those 4 pieces so far. I'll certainly keep looking, and if something grabs my eye, you know, I'll throw it in there, but for now I'm going to start with those. I did add some things onto the pages here. So I put that clear piece just overlapping this a tiny bit. I wanted it to be opposite of this so that the colors would balance out. And then I found some washi, and I decided to put that just a hair over the edge here again to bring in that color. So now we've kind of got that in all 3 places here. And then I just put the little pennant over it. So it actually lines up with the top of the yellow and white paper. You can't see it completely because of the washi being there, but it does line up visually. And then on this side, I added a strip of washi down here again to bring in some of that color. And then I layered the oval piece and then the round Today embellishment, just again to kind of draw it in. So this is what I have so far. And if I journal, it's probably going to have to go here. I don't really have too much space on this side now. But this still feels blank, so I think maybe I'm going to take a rhinestone or an enamel dot or something, or maybe a couple of them up along here just to draw the eye in a little bit more. So that's my next step. I did find some enamel dots, so I did 3 up here. This one to just kind of add to the look of the flag there, and then these were just random. And then I did 2 over here at the top and bottom of the washi strip. So we have that done. Focus, there we go. And then looking at it, I know I'm going to journal in black. I pretty much always do. So I think to bring that in so it doesn't look so stark against all of this, I am going to just do some outlining around the photos. I've completed the outlining here, and I actually decided to also do it just a little bit around the flag up there to bring in even more because it just looked too white up there. So I did add that in. And I really like the way it looks. And so that's it. I will add in the journaling once I decide what I'm going to say. That'll help bring in the black. And another one done. Yay! So thanks for watching, everybody.